Well, welcome. I'm Perry Williams, and this is Hamilton County Newsmakers. Today's guests, I have a couple people from Ivy Tech Community College. Uh, First, Steve Bardonner. Hi, Steve. How are you?
Hi,
You're the Dean of Technology, right? Is that correct?
that's correct.
And Mike Martz, your Program Chair for Computing and Information.
Informatics, that's
Informatics, okay. Well, today we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that are going on at Ivy Tech. As you've known, we've done many shows about our new Ivy Tech facility here in Noblesville, and we're very, very proud of it and very, very fortunate to have a school like this in Hamilton County for higher education. Steve, can you tell us a little bit about the technology program, because we have offered at the campus this fall?
Yes, sure. Well, obviously, we started out really hot and heavy with our construction technology program, which is going very, very strong. What we're trying to do now is we're trying to add some of the beginning classes of some of our other technology programs to use as a way of reaching out to the local communities, our prospective students, so that they can actually start their educational track here. And some of those programs that we're showcasing here starts out with our Advanced Automation Robotics Technology program, which is one of our most important programs right now, because it is meeting the needs of the manufacturing skills gap that's going on here in Indiana. Along with that, we are also offering classes in heating and air conditioning, electronics, design technology, which is a CAD-based program where people can actually learn to be CAD operators and CAD designers. Also offering classes in visual communication and also fine arts.
And you know, those are all needed subjects that we need to address around here for a job. Now, with the one thing that's happened here in Noblesville the last few years, of course, Harris Chevrolet has been here forever, okay, and in the automotive world, and also Terry Lee Hyundai, and with the other places down, automotive establishments down along towards Fishers. There's a big demand for those type of things, right, in the technology.
Yeah, primarily what we're trying to address is the manufacturing. Indiana is among the top in the nation as far as manufacturing, and we are the top in automotive manufacturing. So there's a lot of companies in central Indiana that are either directly associated with some of our manufacturing industries themselves, or they are secondary, which means that they actually produce parts that are given like or sold like to a Honda or a Toyota or a General Motors, and then that's what they use in the production.
So you're second tier suppliers for
Right.
your
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's the job outlook like around here right now for those fields?
Oh, wow. We can't find enough people right now to fill the needs. Right now, there are statewide in Indiana, there's over 53,000 unfilled positions in manufacturing, and that takes into a lot of, and we're talking about jobs that require some type of industrial certification and training. So it's not off the street that we're talking about. We're talking about the skilled trades, which our automation robotics technology program, our industrial technology program, some of our students that go into design technology would all fit into that. So there's over 53,000 unfilled positions. Right now the projection is that that's going to increase as much as 29% over the next 6 years in the state of Indiana.
Which is huge.
Which is huge. And then on top of that, I also mentioned earlier about construction technology. The demand in this construction field is even more crucial. There's 77,000 unfilled positions related to construction in the state of Indiana, and our building construction technology and our heating and air conditioning program would fit into those job needs as well.
What about the needs here in central Indiana, and hopefully that you know, obviously I'm involved with Noblesville Main Street and about keeping people here in the county and surrounding areas. I know there's a lot of tier 1 suppliers and tier 2 suppliers over in the Anderson area, and then obviously Kokomo, but what do we have here in Noblesville or in the Hamilton County
Well,
that
the percentage is still going to be pretty much the same. I
Okay.
don't know the actual
Okay.
numbers per se, but as far as the projections, that's going to be pretty much the same. We're in a lot of conversations with a lot of the manufacturers here in Indiana, and they all come to us with the exact same thing. They can't find the people. They have the jobs, they just can't find the people.
do you have any idea? Of course, we're just now starting enrollment, but are the classes growing every year here? Are we seeing more and more students wanting to get involved in those programs?
Absolutely, absolutely. As far as the School of Technology here at the Central Indiana region, we are experiencing over a 10% growth in enrollment
That's
throughout
good.
the whole region. So, and you know, the programs or the classes that we're offering at the Noblesville campus feed into the Central Indiana School of Technology. So that's included in that. So there is growth, yes.
Tell us a little bit about some of the labs and some of the equipment we have out here at Noblesville, because this has been an ongoing process out here at Noblesville. I mean, because we knew going in that everything wasn't going to come into Ivy Tech all at one time, and it can't. Okay,
Right. Mm-hmm.
So what are some of the newer things that we have available this year in the labs and as far as equipment wise and stuff?
Okay, well, actually we have, talking about our automation robotics technology program, since that is heavily into robotics and into automation, we have programmable logic controller trainers, which actually simulate and the technology is used on the manufacturing line. So everything is automated as far as manufacturing goes, and actually assembly, if you will. So the students actually learn about how to program the equipment to be able to make the assemblies take place. We have Funic robots that are used heavily in the manufacturing setting. We have a brand new machine tool lab that has Herco and Haas CNC machines and so on, as well as our regular manual mills and lathes. In our HVAC lab, we have a lot of brand new equipment that's actually been donated by some of the local contractors here that's really helped us out as far as providing state-of-the-art training for the students. And I can just go on and on. And on.
Oh, I'm sure.
All
I'm
kinds
sure.
of toys.
Yeah, I'm sure of that. But you know, one thing you did touch on, Steve, is that you are getting the input from the community,
Absolutely.
and they're investing in this program, and it's because we have such an outstanding building out there
Right.
that we can put this type of equipment in.
Right, and one other thing that I'll also mention that's really key, most all of our classes in the School of Technology have some type of industrial recognized credentials or certifications that go with them. Like for instance, getting back to our automation robotics program, the students, when they go through that entire program, will finish with 4 MSSC certifications, an OSHA 10 certification, and also a Siemens Level 1 certification, just in that one program.
Well,
HVAC also has certifications that go with that. Our machine tool is NIMS, so there's NIMS certifications that go with that.
sounds great. Sounds great. So that's great in the technology side of the program. Mike, you probably thought I forgot you, right?
No, I was
And you saw up there. it
I was
goes-
learning a lot from Steve.
Yeah, and it shows 00, which tells us nothing because Jim knows I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff. But let's go ahead, Mike, and talk about a little bit of stuff that is going on and is offered in the computer world out there at the Noblesville Ivy Tech?
Okay, well, our School of Computing Informatics actually consists of 8 separate programs. Software development being one of the more popular ones, and looking at the job demand in the Hamilton County area, that's the first one we're going to roll out into this campus. So we're moving some of those classes here, and we're offering them now in the Hamilton County campus. We're also looking at, though, bringing in our intro classes that are common across our programs, so that students can choose a program, any one of our programs, and at least begin their journey here at the Hamilton County campus. Including in one of those classes, we're going to have our information technology course, which is geared toward an industry certification, the A+ certification. The other course we'll have here is the Cisco One class, which introduces students to the world of routing and switching, and Cisco has been kind enough to help us configure those labs as well. So we've got a nice data center here at the Hamilton County campus, as we do down at the Indianapolis campus. So we're slowly rolling things out and slowly rolling our programs out into the Hamilton County campus because it's a fantastic facility. We've just got to get the word out to the students to come see us.
What about, I guess, the campus is featuring a brand new data center. You want to talk a little bit about
Sure,
that?
absolutely, absolutely. We've got a state-of-the-art data center there. It's got a raised floor, so the students can work in that kind of environment just like they would in a real job site. We've got overhead wiring ladders, underfloor wiring trays. We've got the latest Dell Blade servers in racks. We've got Cisco routers and switches in there. The nice thing about that is then the students have a hands-on experience. That way they can go to an employer and say, look, I've actually done this stuff. I haven't just looked at it in a textbook or seen a YouTube video on it. I've actually had hands-on experience, very similar to Steve's programs as well. So we kind of emphasize that aspect of things. So we put those students out there. Until 3 years ago when I started full-time here at Ivy Tech, I was hiring those people. And having people coming in to interview saying, gee, I've actually touched this stuff and done this stuff and know what a wiring closet is and been involved with this kind of stuff and actually done it makes a big difference.
What about in the information technology area? What's the job outlook look like there?
Well, it's fantastic as well in our area. There was a recent article, April of this year, in the Indianapolis Business Journal that said that Indianapolis had the 8th fastest growing IT job market of the 30 major markets they looked at nationally. And if you take out places like Austin, Texas, where Dell is, and Seattle, where Microsoft, and one of the other, Silicon Valley was one of the other ones, actually made us 5th. So obviously there's a high job demand. In this area, again, particularly software development is in high demand, driven by companies like Interactive Intelligence and Salesforce. But there are a lot of local companies as well that grew up here in the Indianapolis area, and other companies that have moved into the area that are in desperate need of software developers.
That sounds great. The opportunity, both of you, Mike and Steve, you're talking about there are some great opportunities at Ivy Tech to go out and get an education and go out in this world and get a very, very good paying job.
Absolutely.
In fact, I'll just throw in the average starting salary for the School of Technology students is anywhere from like $21 an hour up to $35 an hour, depending upon what the job is. And statewide, our average for the entire school is $77,000 for a salary.
Man, that's outstanding, and it gives us another option because I've always been a strong believer in I've been around education my entire life, and still Jim and I are very involved in it in the high school level, but the opportunities kids have today are unbelievable, and you don't necessarily, college is not for everyone. We need people in the technology fields and different fields like that. We need educators and we need those type of things. But the one great thing about Ivy Tech, it gives you that opportunity to, at an affordable rate to go out and get an education beyond high school that you can get a very good job
Well,
at.
and a lot of our students are older. They're career changers. We have a lot of ex-military. Obviously, we have a lot of high school graduates as well that are just coming out of high school. So a wide variety of students. And the nice thing that we're seeing, and I'm sure Steve has seen the same thing, that we're actually getting, our graduates are now getting jobs and then coming back and wanting to hire more people from us in the same areas.
And that's a good thing to have.
So we're beginning to build up a network out there of people that understand just what kind of great education that people receive here at Ivy Tech, and they're taking advantage of that.
Well, and another model that Ivy Tech statewide is picked up in a lot of the programs. It's called stackable credentials. And what that means is dependent upon what the career goal for the student and what program is, that they can actually kind of do a building block as they move their way through their education. For instance, in a lot of our programs, a student can start out with a certificate of training, which is like 24 credit hours or less, but it's all based on industrial certifications. They finish that and they decide that they want to continue on. It's easy for them to go ahead and complete a technical certificate, which is up to 34 credit hours with additional credentials. And then if they still want to stick with it, even if they're employed and they want to complete an actual degree, that actually lends right into the Associate of Applied Science degree that has more credentials and has that Associate of Applied Science degree as well. So there's a lot of stackables.
And one thing that we have, and I frankly I'm not sure whether you guys have it as well as the TSAP degrees. Do you guys have the?
Yes.
Okay.
In some of the programs.
Okay.
Yes.
And so both of us have what's called TSAPs, which are transferable. So it's for a student who wants to not necessarily get a job once they graduate, but move on to a four-year institution. And these TSAP degrees allow them, we have them in informatics and computer science, allows a student to go 60 credit hours at Ivy Tech, all 60 hours transfer automatically to a four-year institution where they can continue on and get their bachelor's degree.
Man, that's outstanding. That's outstanding. Well, it sounds like all these exciting things going on. When do fall classes start?
The 22nd of August.
That's right around the corner.
Absolutely.
We're here.
We are.
Almost a month away.
Yeah, that's are we ready?
We will be.
Okay, that's great.
By August 22nd, we'll be ready.
Okay. And also, if anybody's interested in enrolling, they can visit an upcoming express enrollment event on campus. That's August 4th or August 10th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 300 North 17th Street. That's the Ivy Tech building. And for you people in the Noblesville area, that's the old middle school or the old Noblesville High School for old people like me. But it's a great facility, and Jim and I have been fortunate enough to go out there and do some tapings, and you've really changed that school into a college campus looking facility, and very, very excited about it. Anything else from you guys before we close out of here? I think we got a lot of good information out here today, and we appreciate you guys coming here, and hopefully, like I told Kelly, that I would like to have Dan or somebody from Noblesville Ivy Tech come on once a quarter or once a month, whatever they want to do, and we'll talk about all the great things that are going on at Ivy Tech in Noblesville.
I just like to close out by saying that please go to the website. That's sort of the standard, what everybody always says. But our website has all the information about all of our programs and all the other programs offered at Ivy Tech. So it's a good resource to get started. And if you have questions, please get a hold of us.
And also invite people to actually come and see the campus, because especially those of us who have lived in this area, and I was born in this area, so I remember what the high school used to look like.
Me too.
And you get inside that building, and it does not look anything like the old building at all. It's totally transferred, and also to see our labs, to actually see what our technology looks like.
Well, thank you very much to both of you, Mike and Steve, for appearing on Hamilton County Newsmakers. And this is Perry Williams, and I'll see you next week. And I think it's I have to guess our town Cicero people, and they've been coming on once a month, and they got a lot of exciting things going on in Cicero, Indiana. So we'll be talking about that next week.